Okay, we are moved on to Aaron Wilson, and this is the older part of the cemetery up on the hill. So Aaron was in the Company L, 16th New York Heavy Artillery, died in 1876. Here with the other Wilsons, and it's underneath a pine tree here. Not too bad, a little dirty. We'll give it a go. So this is one of the same style stone, just an older style, or I'm sorry, same style stone, older burial. And the amazing thing is, once I put some water onto it, you can really see some growth pop out that you couldn't see before. Get the scraping here. Loosen up and scrape off what we can. Anything to help loosen things up here. All right. This one has settled into the ground a little bit. Not too bad. Here's the footer, even though it may have been broke off. Another soap. And then we'll just start going at it. I gotta sit down here, Mr. Wilson, so I hope you're not upset with me. Sit on top of you. We're just going to start with the stiff brush. Just give that a brush in here. Knock off that heavy stuff. Has a different sound to it too. The stone almost has like a hollow sound to it. Let me see. I can see what I'm doing. I think it has the flag logo, but the flag is tipped more too. It's hanging, where the other ones it's up like this. This one, the flag staff is really bent over. Also, the style of inscription is a little different. And then we got a softer brush. Let's get that scrubbing. So the Wilsons are one of the original families, I think, in Fort Byron, Mence area. And seems like a good time to update the family tree project we've been working on. We've been, a few years back, we started a Fort Byron family tree. Let's talk about how families were connected and everybody's related to somebody. So we wanted to prove that. So we've been doing that on Ancestry. And I had a few thousand names into it. We even had the black community, African American community, had its own tree inside that. We haven't figured out any connections, because the way I did it was I started with Philip King and I worked out from him. So everybody had to be connected to Philip King, and somehow, I mean, Sometimes it was very distant, but at some point you're always supposed to work back to Philip King. And that's just the way I started the tree. But when we came to the African American community that lived here, didn't find any connections. There was no interracial marriages, which is not surprising whatsoever, even though they were great members of the community. So we had to build a floating tree, what they call a floating tree. So if you are looking for those families in the tree, you have to enter the name and then it'll pop up. And then you can go around that tree, but it's not connected to Philip King. Anyhow, so when we merged Lock 52 Historic Society and Montezuma Historic Society, Kathy Decker, looking at Wilson here, Kathy Decker is much better genealogist than I am. And she took the files and she merged them with her research of Montezuma family. So she had a project called the Montezuma Family Project. So she merged the two, and now we have, it reports about 22,000 names available in the tree. So that's a heck of a database to start with if you're a genealogist and you're looking to get going. Go in and grab stuff off that tree. Of course, verifying on your own. You should always verify. Don't trust anybody else, but at least gives you a good place to start. That's cleaning up real nice. Pretty with the way the sun's casting a shadow on here. And even though my initial tree was on Ancestry, which is a membership service, she's going to upload the files to Family Search, which is free. So if you don't want to pay for Ancestry, you can just go in Family Search and find it. You may not find all the supporting documentation that's been attached to the names, but at least give you a start. And we've also kept Kathy's Montezuma Family Project. We've kept that up on the website, the merged website, as a separate document. And as I say, she's a much more thorough genealogist than I am. I was just trying to do it to see who's related to who, and she was doing it as part of her family. So she's got a lot more records, so you can pretty much take what she has there as a gold standard, whereas mine is probably a copper standard or something. I don't make suppositions, but once I get one bit of proof of connection and I can verify that, then I'll just use that, run with it, and move on, because I'm not related to anybody. It's just a hobby project. So let's see. Nice. And this has the tar underneath it. Of course, we're underneath the trees. Nice, pretty. As I said, the style is different too, because they have the AE, the age, as that combined letter. I'm not quite sure what that's called, but it doesn't give a birth date. You'll have to figure it out on your own, but died in 1875, so 10 years after the Civil War was over. And he died at 61. So he was born in the late 1700s. And I think Dawn Rowe, the village historian, she has a marvelous Wilson family tree, because she's a member of the Wilson family. So if you're researching Wilsons or anybody related to Wilsons, You want to go into her family tree and look for her. So we're going to call that good. Let's say I could scrub all day on that green stuff, but it's never going to come out. So we're just going to mark it with my pink flag here, and I'm going to come back with my D2 and spray it. And then also I wanted to show you this. You can see where you're starting to get some separation here. This rock is, or the stone is starting to separate, and the more water that gets in there, freezes, breaks that apart, the more it'll fail. It's not too bad a shape for how old it is. Sorry, didn't mean to kick you. Not too bad a shape. Here's Mr. Aaron Wilson next to his son. Who's also in the Civil War and also died in 1875. A year before Aaron died in 1876. Well, that's interesting. What do we got going on here? This must be a son. Or what's going on there? 61, 70. Oh, I did all my math wrong. This is the right guy. 1816. Sorry about that. Math in my head doesn't pay. So you got Aaron, son of Aaron, Jerome, and in the old section here. Very pretty. Pretty area. Show you this one. This is one of the ones we did last time. Ormel ball. If you remember that one a couple weeks back. So anyway, there you go, folks. Aaron Wilson. And Old Ment's family tree information. See ya.